Welcome to Faith Stories with Dawn DeMarco Buck. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they will see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Hello and welcome to Faith Stories. I'm Dawn DeMarco Buck. What is Faith Stories? Faith stories are Christians from all walks of life who share their stories of faith, hope, and love. And my prayer is that through these stories, you will get to know your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Well, how do you do that? Through His Word, which is the Bible. So if you need a Bible, please reach out to me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. Okay, you guys, I do this every week. Thank you very much. My dear sweet friend, Stacy Herring, she passed away in September of 2024, and she wrote this amazing book about a young girl, teenage girl, who got into a huge fight with her mom, ran away from home, and got caught up in the sex trafficking trade. It's a page turner. It is so good. It's these three Christian ladies who literally prayed and God just directed and guided them into how to save this young girl. So get it. You can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. All right, you guys, we'll be right back, and I'll introduce you to my special guest.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at Broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton, we open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida, for all your commercial needs. Call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632, or visit www.tavillaproperties.com. Discover Rosie's Garden. The collection draws inspiration from the beautiful niece of the founder, Rosie, who brought joy to many before passing too soon. Her beauty and spirit are reflected in every piece. Founded by two friends, Rosie's Garden is a female-owned brand passionate about creating stunning, elegant jewelry that embodies the concept of bellissima, the Italian word for beautiful. With a philosophy rooted in grace and elegance, the brand crafts each piece of jewelry using only the finest materials, including 18-karat gold and the highest quality craftsmanship, ensuring that every piece is a true work of art. Welcome back to Faith Stories. If you have any prayer requests, please email me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. That's faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. And welcome back. Okay, you guys. So this next guest, she's a dear, dear friend of mine. We've known each other forever. We've had so many laughs. I can't even believe. It's just crazy. But I just want to read a little bit about her, everything that she's walked through since 2017. Her name is Deb Dendinger, and she lost her oldest daughter to an opioid overdose in October of 2017, followed by her mom's sudden death a month and a half later. And then her husband, Rex, suffering a stroke on New Year's Eve the same year, which left his left side paralyzed. Through it all, her love for the Lord grew stronger and stronger. As she did, all she could just get through the days was Proverbs 3:5. Because her daily reminder was trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not depend on your own understanding. That is actually my life verse. And today she's a much different person, and she gives all the glory to God. He gives me the strength to be strong and courageous. Welcome, girlfriend. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm so excited to finally be able to do this with you.
I'm excited that you're here. That's so awesome. So, you know what's really interesting, Deb? I forgot that your daughter died. Well, you weren't here in 2017. You're on the west coast of Florida at that time, right?
Right.
Okay. Because 2017 was also a challenging year for myself because I lost both my parents within 3 days of each other, and you lost your daughter in October of 2017, and then a month and a half later you lose your mom, and then Rex was when?
That was New Year's Eve that same year, 2017.
Unbelievable. I can't even imagine. I mean, it's been one, boom, boom, boom. And what do you do? What do you do? I mean, so let's talk about, let's like dissect that and how you handled those losses so close together. Now Rex passed away, what, a little over a year ago? Is that correct?
It's actually going to be 3 years this
Shut up.
October 7th.
No.
Yeah, it'll be 3
Oh my
years.
God. I didn't think it was that long ago. So, because I remember we had talked and we were talking about getting together and, and then it's been 3 years ago. I thought it was a year ago, for Pete's sake. I'm so sorry. Jeez. Okay.
I'm
So
glad it's 3 years and not 1 year ago.
say that again, honey.
I'm glad it's been 3 years and not just 1 year ago.
Yeah, no kidding. Because you're
Yeah.
that far along, even though you still miss them and you have those moments, I'm sure that really get you all emotional, I'm sure, because I still have that with my parents.
Right. Yeah. For me, it's so funny. It'll be like a song will come on. And,
Right?
and it'll be like, oh, I remember where we were or what we did or what that song meant. So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that probably hits me more often than anything else does.
So let's talk about your daughter first. Share a little bit about her, Deb, and then how you were on the road of grieving her and then losing your mom, and how that affected you in your life.
Well, I'll go back to 10 days before she passed away. My hometown is Evansville, Indiana. So she was there, and my mom lives there, and, or did, and my sister. So my family, that's where we're from.
Right.
And 10 days before she had passed away, I had flown to see my mom because I was going to go to a conference in Indianapolis, which was like 2.5 hours away from my hometown, from Evansville.
Okay.
So Kristen's my daughter's name, and we were trying so hard, like that 10 day, I think they're like maybe 5 days, but this was like 10 days before, trying so hard to get a time. She worked, I was busy trying, taking my mom here and there because my mom was 94, but she was like, my mom was awesome. But
she was a
finally,
spitfire like you, I'm sure.
she was, for sure. Yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the
There
tree.
you go.
Yep. So I had said to my daughter, I'm like, listen, why don't, she called my mom Mama. I said, why don't you come to Mama's house? It was a Sunday afternoon. I was going to go to Indy like the next day. And I'm like, let's just chill. She liked to go shopping when I was in town because she liked for me to buy her things. So
That's what daughters do, right?
exactly. Yeah. So I did. She came over. We spent the whole entire afternoon. Kristen, my mom, my sister lived with my mom, and so we were all around my mom's kitchen table just all afternoon, and it was so much fun.
Right.
So I went to my conference then on I believe it was that Monday. I came back on a Tuesday, and Wednesday evening about 8 o'clock, I was on a call with someone, and my husband knocked on the door, and he's like, "You need to answer the phone," because I could see my other daughter Amy was beeping in. I thought, I'll just call her later, no big deal.
Right. Not knowing
Yeah.
what was to come, right?
Right. So he's like, no, you need to get off the phone and you need to call her. So I did. And her words were, Mom, I just forgot a phone call. Kristen is on life support and they don't think she's going to live.
Oh, God, Deb. Oh,
And
my
I'm like,
God.
I don't
What?
understand. How could this happen? God's blessing is I was able to spend time with her that whole entire day.
Well, that was
of course,
that was such a
he
gift.
knows everything.
Right?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
because he knows everything. So he knew that was coming, and he gave you that gift of that day with your mom and your daughter, and was your other daughter there as well?
Nope, she was still here. She was,
Okay.
well, she lives in Davie, so she's on your coast, but she was still in Florida. Nobody else was with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So she gave
Wow.
me a number to call of the hospital, and I'm still like in shock, not even believing that it's real, right? I'm like, there has to be some mistake. I just
Right.
saw her. She was fine. And so I called. The ICU nurse was a man, a guy. He was so nice. And he's like, I'm telling you right now, you need to get here. I don't think she's going to make it. And it was
Oh.
just, yeah, unbelievable to me. So I flew home immediately, and she actually was on life support for a few days. And then, I was staying at my mom's house. And I remember, and then she passed away. We had the funeral service, and I remember telling my mom, because I would usually go back to Evansville before Christmas, like this, I don't know, the 10th of December, and
Right.
spend time there. We'd have an early family Christmas, and then I'd be back to Florida so I could spend Christmas with my kids and
Right.
my husband. So I remember my mom in her little pink nightgown and robe when I left that day. And I said, Mom, I don't think I can come home for Christmas this year. And I just said, I just don't think I can do it. She says, no, 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 no. I don't even expect you to. I don't understand. I understand. My mom
Wow.
was feeling not just the loss of a grandparent from a granddaughter, but just her heart just reached out to me because as her daughter, she's just like, my mom has never lost a child.
Right.
Thank, not even a grandchild, so we've been very fortunate with that. I just remember her face whenever I left, and she was always like understanding. I gave her a big hug, and then my sister took me to the airport.
Mm.
And then let's see, that was like the 27th of October, 2017 when she passed away. And then I got a call on the 14th, I believe, of December, somewhere around in there. And it was either my brother or my sister. I really don't remember which one called me now. And they were like, Deb, Mom's had a massive brain hemorrhage and she's not going to live. So
Are you?
like,
Oh my God,
yeah,
girl.
how can this be happening? But here's the really awesome thing, and I have to share this, is that my mom was so worried about me being
Right.
okay. And that day, I don't remember now if it was before or if it was after the phone call that I had about, Mom having this brain hemorrhage. I even put it here with me. My mom was really good about sending Christmas gifts ahead of time, right? So make sure
Oh.
everybody had whatever. And I had either gone to the mailbox before or after I got the phone call, and I
Hmm.
opened up this gift, and it was from my mom, and it was my Christmas gift, and it was this acrylic Proverbs 3:5.
Oh,
Trust in the Lord.
you're kidding. Are you
No,
kidding?
yeah, no, like
Oh my
only
God.
God, right?
Woo.
Only God. It sits on my nightstand right by my bed. It's like it's just that reminder of God is just so
He's
amazing,
sovereign.
so amazing. Yeah,
Well, and
absolutely.
it's in the details, and he knew
I
all that,
know.
and how he knew
Yeah,
that your mom was going to pick that verse, and that you would cling to that verse because of what has
yeah.
happened. Was that a
Because my
verse?
word is just trust,
Go,
trust, trust.
right.
That's all I could just keep saying to myself is, all right, Deb, just trust, just trust, just trust. And then, so I went home
Hmm.
and I was there for probably, I don't know, almost 2 weeks because I was helping my sister clean out my mom's place and,
Oh, that's
kind
so
of,
hard.
yeah. It reminded me though of get rid of junk because my kids aren't going to want to clean it up someday.
Right. I don't even have kids, so who the heck's going to clean my crap up? I don't know.
Right? Oh my gosh. So I came home and I actually came home. I think it was Christmas Eve. I flew in and my son and his wife picked me up at the airport. It's like 3 in the afternoon, I think. And then we went to my other daughter's place and we celebrated Christmas. Rex
Wow.
drove across the alley because he's like, "Do you want to fly into Fort Myers, which is close to me?" And I'm like,
Sure.
"No, I'm going to fly into Fort Lauderdale because I don't want to have to fly in and then have a 2 hour drive over,
Right,
to
exactly.
my
Yeah.
daughter's house." Yeah, and I was at that point just total exhausted.
I
So I
bet. I mean, the
did.
mental state alone, dealing with the loss of your daughter, and then four and a half, a month and a half later, now you're mom, and then you have to celebrate Christmas. I'm sorry. The year that my parents died, I didn't celebrate Christmas. I just
Yeah.
couldn't. No. So you had to
Well, and
do
I was
that.
Yeah, and trying to make it, because my kids, neither one were able to go home for my mom's funeral, so they didn't
Hmm.
get that closure.
Got you.
And I really wanted to make Christmas as normal for us as I
Yeah.
possibly could, because at that
Yeah.
point in time, I needed a little like
Normal.
celebration. I
Right.
needed to like
Right.
really focus on my kids. So Rex had he drove across and came over then. What I didn't realize was while I was gone to Evansville taking care of things with my mom, he was having TIAs
He's
because I
having
would talk
what?
to him on TIA, so like mini strokes.
Oh my God.
I think they call
How
it
did
like
he know that though?
transemic attack. How did I know or he know? We
He know.
didn't.
Okay. Okay.
No, we had no idea, but I'd talk to him on the phone a little and I'd be like, he's slurring his words a little. I'm like, did you go out or something? Like,
Right.
you
Had a
don't
few drinks,
sound
Rex.
right. He's like, no, no, no. So I didn't, it just didn't dawn on me that would be any part of it.
Right. Right.
So when we were at my daughter's house for Christmas Eve, then you know how sometimes you trip over your own feet and you kind of
Oh
look back
yeah.
to see what's over and it's nothing? Well,
Right.
he did that. And I didn't think anything of it. I do it all the time. But that was another sign, I think, that he like
Right.
something just wasn't going on right. And then after we spent the night on that coast, and then
Hmm.
Christmas Day later we came back here. He drove,
Hmm.
or maybe I drove. I can't remember now
Yeah.
which one. But I again, no indication that it was anything other than
Serious.
just
Right.
yeah, that it wasn't serious. Yeah. And so I look back at now and I'm like, dang, he drove.
Wow. Right. No
Oh,
kidding.
God was watching after him for sure.
And
But
you
yeah,
know.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So then we went out to dinner on New Year's Eve, one week later, we go out to
Hmm.
dinner on New Year's Eve in a place that we go to frequently, and we go
Right.
early because we don't want to be out whenever there's all crazies on the road. So it's probably 5 or 5:30 in the afternoon.
Right.
And we got through eating, and I kind of turned around and I looked, and I noticed like his hand on his leg was kind of like just, it didn't look right. And I said,
Right.
"Hey, what's wrong with your hand? Like, what's up?" And he's like, "I don't know. I can't lift my arm.
Oh my
It's numb."
God.
And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I looked him straight in the eye and I said, "I think you're having a stroke." Now, why that came into my brain, I have no idea.
Oh
I
my
had no
gosh.
idea. Like, really, I was at a loss what to do. I'm like, "Well, can you walk? Can I get you to a hospital?" I didn't even think about, like, hey, we need to call an ambulance because he
Right.
was
Right.
talking. There was no droop, there was no nothing. He was talking.
Hmm.
And I said, "Can you walk to the car?" "Yep, I can walk to the car." And so I'm on my way. I'm talking to a friend of mine, and I'm like, "I don't even know like where the nearest hospital is I should take him." So she told me. I went down there, and that was another really, really long story. But long story short, in the hospital while he was there, he had the big stroke, and it left him left side paralyzed.
Oh my
And
God.
so that was on New Year's Eve.
And so, okay. So what was your? Okay. So let's talk about how you were feeling in those moments, because I don't know about you, but for me, I felt like I was getting physically hit after walking through what I walked through with my parents. How did you feel? Even I look, I know we have faith in the Lord, but still walking through those losses, has to have an impact on you, because then you took care of Rex for a couple of years afterwards until he passed away.
Yeah, I think it was like 4 years that until he had passed away. So there was a lot of physical therapy. There was um, a lot of caretaking went on for those 4 years as he really worked hard to try to get back to somewhat back to normal.
So, how did you do that, Deb? I mean, seriously, I talk about the emotional part of the losses that you experienced.
I think I was literally in a daze. I think I was just trying to get one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
And it really didn't hit me until he was in the hospital, and then the rehab that he was going to go
Mm-hmm.
to after he was discharged from the hospital was connected to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And one day they said, why don't you go down to the rehab and see where he's going to be, because he'll probably be there for like a month.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, I'll go down. Well, that's when it hit me, because I
Mm-hmm.
see everybody in the wheelchairs and the walkers, and they're way older than he was.
Right.
And I just thought, oh my gosh, is this my life? Is this
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't get it. So I went into the chapel, and it was when
Mm-hmm.
I stepped into the chapel that it all just hit me. Everything just like, I bawled like a baby for hours, I think.
I bet.
I called our mutual friend Denise, and I'm like,
Oh,
Denise, what do I do? I don't even know where to turn.
I bet.
But as God has it, since I've lived over here for many years now, my tribe, I will say, my group of girls, we all met in Bible study. I don't know how, 15 years ago probably.
Mm-hmm.
And they kept we've been very, very, very close. We'll take weekend trips together. We're just very close. In fact, they're at my house right now.
Oh, tell
I'm
us
like, I'll be
hey.
back. But they kept saying, they kept texting me when he was in the hospital, can we come? Can we come? And I'm like, no, 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 no. And the reason I kept saying no was, it was like, I knew if I saw them, it was over
You
for
would
me.
lose it.
Like
Yeah,
I just knew I would lose it. And I didn't want to do
absolutely.
that. I don't like crying. That's not my strong point. And I just knew I would lose it. So after I was in the chapel, and I like cried to Denise for like 2 hours, I think.
Mm,
And I texted the girls, and I said, okay, now is the time.
yeah.
And so I remember going into his room, and I'm like, I've got to go, and I need to get myself together here. And he was fine with it. I knew he was
Yeah.
in good hands, right?
Right.
And I came home, and when I came around the corner to look at my house, there were all these cars in the road and in my driveway. I'm like, I felt like I was driving in, and the cavalry just had come to surround
Oh,
their wagons around me. So,
wow.
it was the most beautiful time, because I don't know what I would have done
Yeah.
without these girls, supporting me and just being there. And they wanted to help so bad. And I'm like, not yet, not yet, not
Yeah.
yet. But
Yeah, because
man,
I understand that, because once you see those people that are living your life with you, and you just fall apart. I mean, and when you're walking through all of that loss, God equips you and carries you through that time. And then when it's like done, when you now Rex is gone, then it's like, okay, now I need to just like grieve, and
mhm.
allow yourself time to do that.
Yes. And we had, I'm trying to think of where I was heading here. My brain took a left turn, and you said something that reminded me of, oh, I want to say this, and it's like, whoopsie.
I know that feeling.
Whoops. Yeah, just the support of everybody. Oh, I was going to say is, so that was, the ball started rolling in October, but in September we'd had a big storm over here, a big hurricane, and we're out of electricity for like a week or something. Now I don't
Hmm.
even remember what the name of it was, which one it was, 2017. So that had started in September.
Hmm.
And then I just remember like that series of events, that just kept coming. And, just getting by with from day to day, one thing after another. But right before that, I think it was right before that storm hit, something, I always hear people say journal. Journaling's so good for you. Journal, journal, journal. Well, I'm not a writer. I have a hard time coming up with the words. But I thought, you know what, I'm just going to start journaling. And that was another gift from God to me, because I was able to, in fact, and I went to a Christian counselor like 2 years after he'd had his stroke, and just trying to deal with everything, because I felt like it was just everything's so much. And I wanted to deal with that grieving part, because I'm one that I'll just stuff it. And that's not healthy either.
That is not healthy at all.
It's not healthy. But anyway, I knew I needed to talk to somebody. So I went to this counselor, and I was telling her, like, she's like, well, do you want to read some of the journal? And I was reading some things to her, and she's like, oh, you've been lamenting. And I'm like, oh, you're right. Because I would just like pour my heart out to God.
But you have to do that so you can get through that, right?
Right. But
listen, hold on a second, girlfriend. We need to take a real quick break, and we'll be right back.
Broughton Garage Door Sales now offers you a difference with the LiftMaster Secure View Ultra Quiet Smart Opener with camera, LED 360-degree lighting, and battery backup. Built-in camera adds video and two-way audio communication to the MyQ app. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage anytime, anywhere from your smartphone. Schedule today at broughton.com.
Just simply call Broughton. We open doors for you.
Tavilla Properties, located at 11471 West Sample Road, Suite 17, located in Coral Springs, Florida, for all your commercial needs. Call Jan at 954-341-1632. That's 954-341-1632, or visit www.tavillaproperties.com.
Discover Rosie's Garden. The collection draws inspiration from the beautiful niece of the founder, Rosie, who brought joy to many before passing too soon. Her beauty and spirit are reflected in every piece. Founded by two friends, Rosie's Garden is a female-owned brand passionate about creating stunning, elegant jewelry that embodies the concept of bellissima, the Italian word for beautiful. With a philosophy rooted in grace and elegance, the brand crafts each piece of jewelry using only the finest materials, including 18-karat gold and the highest quality craftsmanship, ensuring that every piece is a true work of art.
Welcome back to Faith Stories. If you have any prayer requests, please email me at faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com. That's faithstorieswithdawn@gmail.com.
And welcome back. Okay, Deb, we literally have a minute.
See, I told
You were on a roll, girl. I couldn't get you. So I'm going to just let you wrap it up. Just give your final word. Before I do that, you guys check out social media for Faith Stories with Dawn DeMarco book, and share and subscribe, and just push this out, because when you lose someone you love, but then when you lose 3 people, there's other people that have walked through that too. Okay, Deb, I'm going to throw it to you, and I'm going to let you wrap it up for me.
Well, I think through the whole thing, I just hope everybody has that desire to know the Lord, because through the worst times in my life were when I just continued to seek him and get closer and closer. There's no way I would have been able to do this without that. There's just no way. So
absolutely. And you have to cling to him during those really difficult times. But I know there was growth in your faith as you did that.
Oh, absolutely. And it continues to grow every single day as I walk through another part of my life of, being by myself.
Right. It's all new.
Yeah. It's all new.
It's all new. All right, Deb, I love you. I wish you could have been here. Listen, you guys, Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, Deb. I know you were kind of hesitant, but I'm so glad you did. And I know Denise and I were a part of convincing you to do it. But yeah. So next week I have Paula Applegate coming on. So join me next week at 3:00 and have a blessed week, you guys. And I'm happy. Thank you for watching Faith Stories, where you will hear stories of hope, faith, and love. Please join us next week. And remember, God meets you where you are, but doesn't leave you where you are.